Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. Seahawks have a practice session today at the VMAC, and we should be getting some pretty good news later today. By good, I mean substantial. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad in terms of the effect. Got a handful of players who are going to have an opportunity to maybe get back on the practice field at least partially today. Witherspoon, Adams, Brooks, maybe even a guy like Radigan, a couple others as well. It was said they were going to get looked at again on Tuesday after the day off yesterday, so hopefully we get good news on those guys. I'll talk about that later once we hear. But for now, while we're waiting for that, I want to talk about something else going on with this team that's a little more big picture, long term. I want to talk about extensions. I want to talk about the possibility of extending a Seahawks player whose contract is going to be up next season. Somebody who is here for now, but they're on the final year of their deal. Do you want to take care of the extension now, like we did with Uchenna Nwosu, like we did last year with DK Metcalf? Is there anybody left on this team that it makes sense to not put off until next season? Because I think we all understand these contracts only go up in value. So I was looking at the team. There are a couple of guys who you could briefly talk about, but I don't think you would actually do it. Noah Fant, I don't think there would be a lot of interest in extending Noah Fant right now. Nice enough player, but there's not really any need to extend him at the moment when he's coming off a, for him, down season, and he might not even have a massive role in the offense at this point because of the way we've moved towards receivers over tight ends. There's maybe a guy like a Darrell Taylor, but why would you do that right now? You don't need to. You got him for another year, maybe 2 years cheap. Why would you try to extend him now? No need to. Jordan Brooks, you definitely got to see how he comes back from that injury before you even entertain the possibility of extending him. So I don't think there's anything there. To me, there's one guy worth having this conversation about, and one guy only. Offensive lineman left guard Damien Lewis. He is the one guy on this team who I look at and I go, this is a guy who is in the final year of his deal. He could get extended. He's up for an extension legally. The league only lets you do it after you play the first 3 seasons for these drafted guys. So now we have the conversation. Should we take care of it now? Should we give him his money now and lock him up long term? Or do we let it ride through the 2023 season and see what's up at the end of the year, both with him and with the position in general? So, the first thing to understand is Damien Lewis has come a long way as a player. If you look at the way he played last season, he was our best offensive lineman, and you can tell that by watching the games. You can tell that by looking at PFF. You can tell that by looking at Football Outsiders. However you want to do it, Damien Lewis was our best all-around offensive lineman. I don't know if he was our most valuable because the tackle positions are a little more valuable than the left guard position, but he was our best one. You go to PFF, and you can see he played over 1,000 snaps, 4 penalties, 3 sacks allowed, grade of almost 72, and he was well-rounded. He had a good pass block grade and a good run block grade. Keep in mind, he's playing out of position right now. I still believe that he is. I'm not saying he should switch back right now because he's been here for 2 years. But he's a right guard. He was a right guard before. He was a right guard his rookie year. He plays like a right guard. He looks like a right guard. So he is basically playing out of position, and he has come a long way from where he was the previous year. If you go back to 2021, his first year at left guard, PFF graded him significantly worse. They actually gave him a very bad pass blocking grade. He played a significant amount less than 700 snaps because of injuries. So Damien Lewis has come a long way. So you could definitely look at that and go, hey, this guy should be a part of the Seahawks long term. Now, he will never fit this offensive scheme. Not really, anyway. This offensive scheme ideally has mobile guards that can play in space. Damien Lewis is not really that. Sometimes he tries to do it and it's not all that effective. Sometimes you just don't ask him to do it because you know it's not going to be pretty if he tries to do it. So you just kind of restrict your playbook a little bit. But Damien Lewis will never be able to do the things that left guards are supposed to be able to do in theory in this offense. It's just the way that it is. He's a bigger guy. He's a slower guy. He's more of a mauler. But last year we found a way to make it work. And not only did Damien Lewis play well in that offense, but the offense was good. It was ninth in the league in scoring. So Damien Lewis found a way to be effective in this offense despite not really fitting it. However, that doesn't change the fact that he doesn't really fit it. And the other thing to understand here, if you extend Damien Lewis, you are not saving money. When you extended Uchenna Nwosu, you saved a little bit of money because his cap hit for the last year was previously really big because it was a free agent deal. Damien Lewis is on his rookie deal still, and it's a third round pick rookie deal. So Damien Lewis, if he gets extended, even if you backload the contract significantly, that first year will still be more than what he's due to make this year. You go to Spotrac here, you look at Damien Lewis's contract, you can see that his cap hit for 2023 right now is little less than $3.3 million. If you extend Damien Lewis, this is tough, right? This is tough to calculate, but the number I've seen thrown around by some people in my Discord, and a number that I think would make a decent amount of sense, would be something like 4 years, $44 million, or 4 years, $48 million. Remember, you are doing him a bit of a solid by extending him now. So he is going to give you a little bit of a break. But we're seeing guards now get $20 million a year, like Lindstrom with the Falcons. He got, 5 years, $98 million, 5 years, $100, something up there. So he got $20 million a year. That's what the elite guards get now. Damien Lewis is not an elite guard, but he's a good guard that is bordering on very good. By the way, he's only going to be 26 this year. He could get better. So there's a possibility he's going to eventually ascend to the point where he's a very good to great guard. And at that point, you are talking about a guy who's probably going to be due on the open market 12, 13, 14 million a year. So if you lock him up now for the 4 years, $44 million that has been bandied about a little bit, that's him kind of doing you a little bit of a break in a way. But on that contract, he's still going to have a bigger cap hit in 2023 than he does right now. Even if you backload it, it's going to be at least $4.5 million, right? So you're biting into your remaining cap space, and you're removing your team's ability to go out and sign a big impact veteran free agent right now, like Matt Ioannidis, like Akeem Hicks, like Chris Wormley, etc., etc. So just understand that if you do that, you are taking away that possibility for the Seahawks in this offseason. And also, you're taking away significantly from future cap space because we're already pretty committed to a lot of elements of this team going forward. A lot of them have long-term deals that go past next year and the year after. So this just further bites into that. And obviously, we're going to do some things next offseason. Adams might be gone. Disley might be gone. A few other players might be gone. Monet may be gone. But you are still talking about a lot of pretty big contracts to players that are going to be hard to get off of. Metcalf, Geno, now Nwosu, Draymond Jones, Lockett, etc., etc. Diggs, too. So you're just further committing yourself to the current team when you don't necessarily have to yet. The number one reason why I fall in the no camp on extending Damien Lewis now is I really like the crop of left guards in next year's draft class. I think there are right now 6 that are going to go in the top 100, and even if one of those guys falls off and one of those guys doesn't fit our scheme any better than Damien Lewis, that's still 4 guys you're going to have a great chance to get in that top 100 to fill the hole. So at the end of the day, I kind of fall on a no here. I understand that it can go wrong. He can have another good season. Like, what if he plays even better? What if his PFF grade goes up to like 75 or 76? What if we see him play more effective football at left guard here? What if he continues to be this grinder, and then we get to free agency next year and we're like, we can't take a chance in the draft. We have to keep him. This guy's really good. What's he going to get at that point? Is he going to get like 4 years, $56 million, 4 years, $60 million? I got to believe it's going to be at least 4 years, $50 million. So you're going to pay more for multiple reasons. One, he's not going to give you a break because you didn't take care of him early. Number 2, he's going to be, well, we're going to be a year in the future. The cap is going to go up, so his asking price is going to go up. So it can go wrong. It can definitely go wrong, and you can end up paying Lewis more money than you would have if you had just taken care of him the previous year. But this is something that I feel like we can wait on. I like Damien Lewis a lot. I'm very impressed with the way he played last year. He did awesome stuff, improved massively. and has a chance to be a good player in this league for quite some time. But I feel like this is one you can wait on. It's not going to save you extra money. It's not going to allow you to go out and do something else on the back end. It's not going to do any of that. It's just going to cost you a little more money now and a little more a lot more money later when you don't have to make the decision yet. And for assorted reasons that I went through in this video, I don't feel like that's a commitment you need to make. And while guard prices are going up, it's not like edge. Like when you take care of Nwosu, that makes a little more sense to me because Bosa is going to get paid in the next couple weeks. Parsons is going to get paid next year. So a guy like Uchenna Nwosu is going to look at those deals and he's going to want a lot more than he wants right now. Damien Lewis, yeah, there may be a guard who signs for big money next year. And you would expect most years there's going to be at least one. But it's not going up exponentially the way the pass rusher market seems to be going up right now. So I would say that we don't need to do this right now. It's definitely a good conversation to have. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't stand in the way of it. But I feel like, especially with next year's draft class looking so promising for interior offensive linemen, especially ones that fit the left guard mold, guys who will fit this offense better than Damien Lewis, we can hold off. But let me know what you guys think down below. Would you extend Damien Lewis right now? Would you give him the contract? What kind of contract would you be willing to go up to? If it is 4 for $44 million, would you do that? Would you do 4 for $48? Where's your line? Let me know down below. I will talk to you guys later. Go Hawks. More stuff coming later. Hopefully we get good news.